Hello, Christy here. I have not been in here for a little while. I wanted to let you know what was going on. And I actually wanted to start with a question for you today. So, my question for you is what's stopping you? So, here's the thing. The process in terms of hiring my services are as follows. Typically, you've been watching some of my Facebook posts or participating in any of my trainings that I offer. You've met me in some capacity and you like what I have to say or you want to learn more about my services. But most importantly, what happens is you recognize that you're stuck and you're tired of being stuck. In fact, you're sick and tired of being stuck and you're sick and tired of feeling like you're living the same vicious cycle over and over and over again. So what happens next is you'll reach out to me in some way. I'll send you a link to book a call. And that call is not a sales call. That call is quite literally an opportunity for you to say out loud all of the stuff that you've been ruminating over. So it could last anywhere between half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It's set for an hour to give you the time that you need to be able to articulate yourself. Oftentimes, at the end of that call, people do ask me more about my services so that they can leave the phone conversation to decide if they want to work with me. Rarely, to be honest with you, do people not ask me about my services. But again, I don't talk about that in the discovery call just simply because that's not what the call's about. And then after that, what ends up happening is then we start working together. And when we start working together, it's always in the discovery call where they've had some profound emotional experience, some revelation of sorts as to, because they've been able to articulate themselves, they have a better sense of what their problem really is. But more important than that, they have a really good sense of what they want instead. Because oftentimes we know what we don't want, but we spend so much time trying to avoid the circumstances around what we don't want that we never pay close attention to what we really do want. And in the discovery call, we spend some time doing that. Anyway, we end up in our first session together and we really go deep into what you really want. And we look at the game plan of how you're going to get there. Now, if you could have that opportunity, if you could have a free 60-minute call to talk about what's really bothering you and talk to somebody who, isn't going to judge, isn't going to criticize, somebody who you feel safe with, and then you can have coaching sessions or hypnotherapy sessions thereafter that actually set you up with a game plan that really get you dialed in and focused on where you really want to go and how you can get there. What would stop you? What is stopping you from setting up that first call? Is it because you really don't have clarity as to why you're unhappy? You just recognize you're unhappy? Okay. So together we can figure out what creates that unhappiness for you that you're unclear about. Because if you've been paying close attention to any of my posts, that oftentimes the lack of clarity just comes from deeply rooted emotions that you've desensitized yourself from feeling. Have you decided not to book a discovery call with me because you keep putting it off? Yeah, I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it later. Well, is that because of fear? What is the reason for not wanting to start a process in getting unstuck? And it doesn't have to be with me, but at the very least, if you set up that discovery call, is it an opportunity then to learn more about what is bothering you so you have the clarity, and then what it is that you want? And then you can seek direction from somebody else if you want to. But I highly, highly, highly recommend that if you're this person sitting on the fence, and yes, I'm talking to you directly, and you've wanted to book a call for a little while but just haven't, I mean, you deserve better. You deserve to treat yourself better. If you have a child and your child was turning around and kept telling you that they were unhappy with their life for whatever reason, what would you have them do? What would you ask them to do? You would ask them to assert themselves. You would ask them to take charge. In fact, probably what you would do is you would go ahead and take charge on their behalf by setting up appointments or doing what is necessary. So why not take care of yourself the same way? What's stopping you from showing up? Anyway, I am glad I'm here. I would love to hear your comments. What is stopping you from showing up? I'm really curious, and I want you to type it out because I want you to get really honest with yourself about what's stopping you. Okay, here's the showing up for you. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to be offering a training. I haven't put it together yet, but I'm trying to offer it February and March. So it'll be maybe 4 or 6 weeks worth of training where I'm going to be talking about coping mechanisms, so stress coping mechanisms. So I think you'll find that very valuable. Anyway, here's the showing up for you. Have yourself a fabulous rest of your day. Peace.